capacity to be alone is the capacity to love. It may be paradoxical to you, but it's not. It's an existential truth. Only those who are capable of being alone are capable of love, of sharing, of going to the deepest core of another person without possessing the other, without becoming dependent on the other, without reducing the other to a thing, without becoming addicted to the other. They allow the absolute freedom because they know that if the other leaves, they will be as happy as they are now. Their happiness cannot be taken by the other because it is not given by the other. What's good, dog? What's good, brother? I'm very good. Yeah, I'm very good. It is, yes, great to see your presence. Such a beautiful day out right now. It's crazy. It's very, very vibrant out. I think immediately we'll take ourselves out that way. Yes. Hypnotic. Thank you, dog. Thank you, dog. I try to just I just try to, do my thing. Just rock this human experience the best I can, It's let's see. Right here. Somewhere. Yeah. This is nice. This feels reminiscent of, yes. Greetings, friends. Hey, Emma, what's poppin'? I'm great, yeah. A little sleep deprived, just feeling full of energy, full of love. Just, yeah. Beautiful, vibrant day. Feeling creatively inspired. That's the wind is blowing. Gotta love it. Absolutely. Seems like a scene of a movie. It's feeling pretty cinematic, my brother. I feel like half the time my life does feel very cinematic. Yeah, it's very nice. And they do it very well. And you do it very well. Hell yeah, brother. Thank you. Bless. Was out cross country today. Damn, cross country skiing. That's legendary. Yeah, that's one of the parts I love about British Columbia is the mountains. The mountains are beautiful. There's some beautiful. I do snowboarding, but yeah, I haven't been snowboarding in a while. I see. And to grab myself one more thing. The weather, the temperature. I don't even know, dog. I don't really focus on temperature, but it's, if I had to guess, maybe maybe 15, 20 degrees Celsius. It's like warm, like it's picked up. This is actually like, I would say, beach weather. I was just telling my partner where it's like I could go to the beach today if I desired to. I'm not sure if I will. I kind of might just like, take it easy, kind of just like chill, maybe do some strength training. But yeah, it's like this is where a beach weather is among us, my friends. Yeah, I'm feeling good though. I mean, it's kind of inherently not a focus of mine, but I did naturally released a short 2 days ago. Literally just basics of just like wow, slap harmonics, this, that, the other. And yeah, for some reason that became my most liked short. Basically the engagement was strong, where I was like, word, cool. Like lots of likes, like record breaking likes actually. Yeah, which is a good sign. Like I don't really give a crap. Well, I give a crap about views, but I like likes. If people on my shorts or videos or whatever, if it's like exploding with likes, that just is such a beautiful sign to me that people have really seen value within this this content. So that's that's got me excited. Where I think I want to create momentum with that, because for me, creating videos about slap harmonics and music, right, it's such an easy, natural thing, right? I can just do that all day long. And so I feel like part of me is thinking, I think I'm just gonna grind out some slap harmonic shorts and see if I can explode. Something's very cool. I get to get my twin tips out of storage. Word. Ah, interesting. My friend's calling me. But I'm on a stream. Please, can you do something like The Godfather or something? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what the Godfather theme is, in truth. Godfather. Yeah, bro. I mean, I'll say this to you, Fudu 318. We're not looking to get copyright infringed, brother. I mean, not saying I would probably, if I interpreted Godfather theme, I could do that, where I'm interpreting it if I knew what it was, but honestly, no idea. I know I could do some cool Godfather type theme. I'll look into that. I'll look into that in the future. But again, I try to stray away heavy. I try to deviate from any sort of like cover, even interpretations of covers, because I don't want to get copyright infringed, bro. This is a live stream, I can get copyrighted just like that. And also, I'm an original improv artist, so I don't really desire to do covers. But I appreciate the interest, brother. I can definitely play some beautiful, beautiful silky improv that maybe like hits the mark. Getting warmed up with that flow. Snowboarding is very cool. Yeah, bro. Snowboarding rocks, man. I've actually been doing snowboarding since I was about 7 years old. Haven't done it a lot the last couple years, but yeah, I've been like deep into the snowboarding flow. You changed a lot in a better. I can see the electric energy through you. It's a violet color one. Wow. Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm a rapidly changing dude. I feel like as I'm stepping higher into my YouTuber presence and essence, I feel like, just naturally I want to step up my energy as a whole. Like I want to, just be the best expression of myself. It's the the same mentality that I hold for evolving as an artist, right? As a performance artist, as a musician, as a, realms of acting and etc., right? I feel like these are conquests. These are things that invite us to be the best expression of ourselves. It's like you really want to make intelligent choices. You want to, honor the people in your life. You want to make healthy choices, right? And let that be a reflection of your ability to embody this as a creator, as a YouTuber or whatever you desire to do. So for me, it's basically what I'm saying is being a YouTuber, as with many things, is like a sacred quest. I take it very seriously in the context where, I use it as an invitation to show up as the best expression of myself. And it's not, it's authentic. Like, I basically, and I would live my most authentic life, YouTuber or not, but I feel like it's an even further invitation to be like, you know what? I want to continue to show up for my community, for my ability to grow this portal, this business, this channel. So it's on the way, bro. It's like I'm gonna, yeah, I use, because this is the thing I think in life, like the further we go into try to show up as the highest expression of ourself, I feel like we continuously get glimmers of the things. Whoa, I hear mountain birds. We get glimmers of the things that are basically requesting and inviting us to really just show up as the highest expression of yourself. I think the film industry, like when you're surrounded by actors and you're surrounded by beautiful human beings that are all on the quest to, really express themselves and be present with themselves, this is a kind of thing that, if you're being present with your human experience, these are invitations to basically show up as the best version of yourself. It's like when I look at being a content creator, it's like if you're not being like authentic with your experience, with yourself, with your, your expressions, your truth, especially as a streamer where it's all improvised, it's all live. Like you're, experiencing me live. I'm not like, yeah, it's not scripted at all. I want to be able to showcase and embody that energy naturally. And it's not like I fixate on that, but it's like, when I'm living my life, I just want to be my most happy, abundant, natural self in general. And then streams just become a natural extension of that. Playing as an expert level. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm getting there, dog. I'm advanced. I'm advanced beyond and sure. But yeah, I'm sure most of you get that, right? If you're artists, if you're, people going on your path, you're trying to like advance as maybe even just like in the context of being a professional, right? It's like the more I feel like we can allow ourselves to evolve as a professional, whatever you want to call that. Like I'm talking about professional performance artist, right? It's like we can almost see the way that the world around us is like reflecting us back to ourselves to allow us to show up as the best versions of ourselves. And when you see it as an opportunity, you're like, oh, word, like I can really like embrace this ability to be received by the universe. And then you can truly like get into that. You can lean into that and you can allow the universe to transform you and you it. A sheer movement is truly the environment. Amazing environment, really good as his interior goodness towards the world. Thank you, brother. Bless you. Bless you, Xavier. Bless, brother. It is so. It is so. I feel like, this channel started as like a, a community building. It's a community building realm. Like I want this to be like, it's like my individual intention and mission is to expand outwards, to invite musicians, creatives, whatever, to feel like they have a safe space to gather, to talk about music, to philosophize. But I truly feel like the more I grow this channel, the more I'm like succeeding in YouTube, more or less, to some, for lack of a better word. I see that this is a mission that is beyond me. It's like the Ashe movement, if we will. Like that's just a word that kind of I think was a good header. Ashe dot movement was like speaking about like movement, like the movement of energy, the flow of energy, like the flow of movement. But obviously, I see the context of how it's received as a movement, as a revolution, right? We as humans, the movement is to root ourselves within like a sacred context relating to music and all this. All of this. Thank you, dog. More expressive that you know yourself. Yeah, brother. I think in Lomar to Teatro, you know, for to be super transparent, it's like we all have obviously the capacity to become the most expressive versions of ourselves. I've always been a profoundly expressive dude. Like, you know, the last like 10, 15 years of my life have been devoted to the performance arts. Like, it's not, is very intentional, right? You know, I've spent many, many, many years learning to honor music, learning to honor expression, dance. But I think when we're talking about what allows ourselves to be the most expressive version of ourselves, you don't need to be a masterful musician. You don't need to be a, you know, a creative expressionist. You can be. And I think this facilitates this. But let's be real here. The core way to let yourself be the most expressive, you know, the most natural version of yourself is almost like to address the parts of you that just need to be honored. You know, whether this is reflected back to you from an intimate partner. You know, I believe partnerships, like healthy romantic partnerships, you know, the feminine energy, right? They're so powerful, not just because, you know, what they are in the wholeness of, you know, neurochemically, physiologically, sure, there's many beautiful elements, but it's the idea that when you have your own core insecurities, your own, maybe your core wound or your core maybe scarcity of self, you know, almost like the lack of valuing and honoring yourself, when you have that reflected back to you, where you get to see by, you know, by and by, like Osho would say, you get to see that you not only are valuable, not only you are an extraordinary being as an individual, and, you know, reflecting this back from beautiful human beings shows you this, but you're sacred. Your presence deserves to be honored. Like, it deserves to be revered, you know, in some sense. And obviously you are the person that gets to set this context. Basically, only you to you. Like a romantic partner, a friend, a community, they can reflect these things back to you so you can be like, oh, wow, I feel valued, I feel honored, I feel cherished, whatever. But ultimately, it's about you. It's about your relationship with yourself. It's about you giving yourself permission on a deeper level to actually honor yourself. And when you feel honored, like when you're honoring whatever it is you feel like you want to be, you know, whatever you want to do in your life, that is what translates into you feeling like, okay, now I just want to express. Now I just want to laugh. I want to play. I want to be playful, right? And I think you can be a musician, you can be whatever performance realm you want, but it's all comes down to how you are learning to reawaken the ability to honor yourself. You know, finding the things that you get to address. Like, you know, it's like you're penetrating the ego, you're penetrating the fear or the insecurity of what you might think you lack, and realizing you're never lacking. You are whole, you are beautiful, you are valued, you are magical, you're magnificent. And this is to all of you. And of course, reflecting to myself. As I close this door here. Anyways, if that flows through, because, you know, you may hear this is like a quintessential thing. Often I remember there was this one chick that I met on a like spiritual community that she'd say this all the time. I'd be like, wow, you're such a beautiful soul, you're such an interesting being. And she'd always just be like, I am just a reflection of you. She'd be like, I'm just a beautiful reflection of you. So you are the beauty that you see in me. And she'd just say that like a philosophical way, and she was a gorgeous human being. But I remember thinking, like, on the deepest level, that's true, right? You know, you see, the things you see beautiful in me is the reflection of you. It's the beauty that's being reflected back to you, right? It's the beauty that you are that is being reflected, you know? It's mirrored. Like, you see the potential, or you appreciate the realms of yourself that truly is, and then that's what you're appreciating, right? As is me, you. Oh. Yeah, as you can see, my thumbnail, it actually got damaged when I was doing strength training, so I can't execute artificial harmonics. But that being said, I can take my 3D. Play, we are waiting. Amazing. I'm happy you're here waiting, friend, because you're probably going to be waiting some more. Do I know the Last of Us song? I can play the outlines to the Last of Us song. I can't play the full song, and again, I'm under this impression that I'm going to stray heavy from trying to play any covers, like even remotely. I mean, I'll play interpretations, I'll, play inspired music that's improvising and recreating, but yeah, I don't even want to touch that with 10-foot pole. Like, copyright infringement is, it's a real thing. But this is how I play Last of Us. I kind of botched that key shift there, but of course Last of Us has a more like, man, I heard like a cover of The Last of Us that sounded so beautiful. Someone was doing like a full like recreation. Reminds me of RD2. It seems you have opened your third eye. I'm on my way, brother. I'm trying. I'll be honest here. If I'm being extremely honest and transparent, I'm on my way. Like, I know for a fact that I'm accessing a heightened level of throat chakra activation. Like, I've been honoring that for multiple years. I actually was reflecting this to my partner, is there was a distinct period in my life, right? Very distinct period in my life. And I remember I was like, came home from a rave last night, and I was sitting there like 3 a.m. talking to my partner. I'm sitting there talking, being like, I remember vividly about 11 years ago, I began to go on the quest to basically honor my lower chakra centers. That is the root chakra, the sacrum. I basically was on the quest to learn to honor sexual energy. That is, transmute sexual energy via semen retention, via studying masculine, feminine energy dynamics, right? And that was the beginning of my quest that's taken me to the current day, 11 years ago. I started with this very distinct, deep study of literally devoting multiple years of my life to learn to transmute sexual energy. And as I've seen the distinct moment, I had an experience where I had a breakthrough about 7 years ago, where the first time I did Changa, I somehow awakened this powerful synchronicity that I would actually call a quantum shift. It was the first time I understood what a quantum shift and a quantum leap was. And it opened my heart chakra very distinctly. About 7 years ago, there was a very pivotal moment that my heart chakra was closed off before this moment, and it awakened. Suddenly my ability to receive heart energy changed forever. And then, as of about 6 years ago, I've been on a powerful quest to reawaken the throat chakra. This was stemmed from basically sitting with a lot of psilocybin and realizing I desired to be a YouTuber. And this is where I went on this massive quest to reawaken my voice in the simplest way, to learn to express my truth, to communicate my truth. And naturally, the next progression of that is to ascend to the third eye chakra awakening. I don't know when and how. I'll be perfectly honest. I think the third eye chakra awakening, surely it's a progressive, continual thing, but it's very pronounced. What I'm simply saying is I'm on the way. You know, we could even say, like, this is the funny thing. I observed this a while ago, is quantum shifts, quantum leaps. This is objective or subjectively observed, is I think quantum shifts and quantum leaps, the very nature of them is they're timeless. They happen ambiguously. They could happen within a matter of hours, a matter of days, you know, where months and months of progress or years of acceleration will happen very quickly. It's because it's beyond time. And I think when you awaken certain chakras, like, you know, your path aligns, be it with a person, be it with an experience, be it with some sort of like powerful shift in your life. These are things that are almost like operating in a metaphysical way. You know, these are metaphysical anomalies, if you will, where, you know, time is not restrained or associated with these types of quantum shifts or leaps, where basically what I'm saying is, yeah, if you're going to experience a powerful shift in your life, this is a thing that has transcended space and time. You know, it sounds a little bit ambiguous, but it's true. It's like, you know, the idea is this experience has basically been aligning with your path. If you're now receptive and open to the way that these things operate, and you will experience shifts in your life that will happen outside of time and will basically rapidly transform your life, your experience, your beliefs, so rapidly that, again, it's almost like time will never exist or time will not apply. It's like, basically what I'm saying is, you know, if you've experienced ever in your life, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, hopefully you have, where you've seen yourself make such powerful shifts, such growth, such progress, such powerful alignment with people, places, things, realizations, epiphanies that literally transcend time. It's like you'll make more progress in days, weeks than you have in years upon years. That's what I'm talking about. This is a real thing. Now, obviously, not all of us are even receptive to this, but I know this exists. This is what happened about 7-8 years ago for myself. I was reflecting on this with my partner, and I'll be honest, I actually think I'm in the midst of another one. You know, I haven't thought about this. I've never like consciously desired to understand this too deeply, but the last year and a half or 2 years, I would say, you know, the way I was aligned with my previous partner and my recent partner and the progress and the visions I've had with my YouTube channel, I think I've stepped into a quantum portal, if you will. I'm kind of just paraphrasing, but it's almost like, and the nature of the quantum is it's a timeless endeavor. So you're not going to be conscious of like, oh yeah, I've already stepped in this quantum thing. This is what's happening. No, it's a timeless endeavor. So you could be in the middle of a quantum shift and you're not even conscious of it. You know, you're just like, oh, things seem seemingly synchronized. They're seemingly anomalic. They're seemingly shifting at a rapid rate. And you don't necessarily understand why, but it's like, this could be, the fact is you've slightly tapped into something that is the quantum, that is maybe like a timeless endeavor that is interacting with your future self, that is also, well, if we're going to even try to define a future self, because time isn't real, but in the quantum, you can interact with your future self. This is actually a thing that Joe Dispenza speaks of a lot. Anyways, I'm speaking a lot of metaphysical philosophy that may or may not make sense, but hopefully it does make sense one day. Hopefully. I really hope it does, because that means you're on the path. Seems like the neighbor that's using his like buzzsaw or something is doing buzzsaw stuff. Good outfit. It's a South's to guitar model. Nice. Why, thank you. I love this. This is my everyday attire. Thank you. This is just how I dress everywhere. True peace is legendary. Ashe, thank you. Ashe is legendary. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you receiving me, brother. It's just, yeah. Can you do the 28 days later theme? Honestly, no clue. No, sir. What did I just scroll into? You know, bro, you Pierce clips, you know what you scrolled into. You know, just maybe haven't consciously understood it yet, but you understand on a felt level. It's you. No, it's funny. Like you may see those like YouTuber or content creator types. I've seen a few of them. I'll be honest. Some of these guys, I think they're blowing smoke, so to speak, but they are real human beings that are basically speaking of real things. But you know, you'll pop on a channel and they'll be like, there's no coincidence that you're here. You know, they'll be like, okay, like you come here for a reason. You know, your guides or the universe has brought you here for a reason, right? Stuff like that, right? You may hear that. I'll be honest, some of that stuff, I understand why that's true, but it's kind of cringe that a lot of these or not a lot, but some of these like, you know, metaphysical spiritual medium YouTubers, they're using it as almost like a clickbait or like a, you know, an appeal, like a hook. These things are real. Like when someone tells you you're here for a reason, you know, the universe has guided you, this is profoundly significant, you're here, everything they're saying is actually true. But I'll be perfectly honest, the fact that someone's trying to almost like monopolize or monetize that sort of very dimension, because yes, the quantum, like the significance of the fact that you are here, the quantum level of how things are operate is significant. The fact that you're somehow stumbled across this portal in this moment in time, me speaking about this and that, it's not a coincidence. It is great significance. But again, I feel like it's cringe for a lot of these like medium YouTuber metaphysical. They're probably beautiful souls. Like, let's be real here. They're real. They're authentic. At least the ones that I've seen. They're authentic people, and what they're experiencing is authentic. But the way they're trying to like almost universally sell this to be like, hey, like this is clickbait, that is gold, because, you know, everyone thinks, whoa, it's significant on here, and the angels or the guides have brought you to this, that, and there's great significance. This is how things operate. Like on a deeper level, absolutely. But most people on a surface level who don't maybe consciously comprehend that and are trying to almost like be alert to it because, you know, a person's trying to use those, let's call them trigger words, as being like, wow, it's great significance, the universe is God here. I feel like that's bullocks. Like, let's use some beautiful British slang, because I'm part English. So it's some bullocks. It's bullocksian as fuck. Not to say that the person isn't like authentically connected to what they're speaking about, and they don't authentically understand. But I think monopolizing these kind of metaphysical anomalies and metaphysical dimensions is not doing a service to the actual awakening of what people need to actually awaken. Like, these are things that are surely beyond some sort of weird monopolized thing. Dogs, gods, I'm gonna have to ask you to not to do that, brethren. Dog's God gift, not a religious channel. Thank you for sharing your truth, my dog, even if it's packaged in a one-dimensional model of preaching. You know, share your truth, not the channel for this. I'm going to be forthcoming. If you keep on spamming Jesus, scripture, or whatever you're doing, you're going to have to be asked to leave. But thank you for sharing your truth, my dog. Yeah. Wow, he's going off. I hope you're here, though. I hope you're here. I'm glad you're here, Dog's Gift, or whatever your name is. But, brethren, this is a music channel. The intention is not to spread religious ideology, as is with political ideology. We're just not here for it. Find a channel where people are talking about religion and that, and I'm sure you'll be welcomed with open arms, my friend. But yeah, that's not what we're here for. Anyways, I'm going to get back. I got to scroll through. So Pierce, I went to the psych ward. When I was like him. Interesting, interesting. I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you, brother. Yes. Pierce Clips is right on the money. Yeah. Bro, you have smoked right. I don't smoke anything, except for changa on the occasion. But nah, I don't smoke ganja or cigarettes. Not for 11 years, yeah. This guy needs to try the new dope in Kensington. Okay. Thank you guys for being present with me here, listening to my perspective. You know, I appreciate you holding space for yourself to extract and decipher truth in your life. You know, I appreciate you guys holding space for yourself to, you know, see what is resonating with you, what is inspiring you, to unlock the creative pathways that you desire to access. I honor that. I think that's actually beautiful. And I really believe this. But yes, refreshing back to the comments. Are you well? Looking a bit pale, but winter standards. Very interesting. Thank you for your backhanded compliment and concern. But I'm well, brother. I'm healthier than most. I feel extraordinary. Yeah, I'm Ukrainian English descent, so this is the hue of my skin. I feel great. But yeah, hope you're well as well, brother. Hope you're, you know, behind your computer typing your concerns for strangers. I hope you're feeling well, brother. Yeah. It's kind of, you know, I don't mean to stroke my own ego, but I speak of this very actively on this channel, in real life, all the time. It is very important to honor your health. You know, I actually go way out of my way in so many different ways to, you know, be it cold plunges, strength training, movement training, mobility training, somatic practice, you know, energetic training, you know, just expressing myself, enjoying and living my happiest life. Health is everything, my friends. You know, honor your health. Consciously let yourself honor yourself by honoring and nourishing your being. You know, this is really very important. This is just what I would love for you to sit with, my friends. Self-transcendence. Very nice. You just came to the ancient India. Interesting. Very nice. Very nice. Very chakras. We got some unhinged energy in the comments today. Man, I feel like everyone... It's unfortunate you guys didn't enjoy your Saturdays, it seems. Like, you know, those that are kind of trying to make sense of what's going on here. Yeah. Where have I seen this dude before? A movie or something? I don't think so. I'm not an actor, bro. At least not an actor you'd see on screens. Not maybe one day, but not today. When he told you to play, told you by Skid Row. I remember you. I briefly remember. I remember Dominican. I remember your name, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely not gonna focus. I'm not a cover artist. You know, that's one thing for sure. Yes, for sure is I'm an improv artist, original artist. But I don't desire to get copyright infringed. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you know, I think it's important to recognize this. Pseudo intelligence. We can only wish. I think you're on the wrong channel, my friend. Mike, we can only. Because if you had any comprehension or any comprehensive ability, you realize what I just did was I basically was just expressing the importance of almost seeing through people that have ill intent when they are trying to, like, yeah, engage in metaphysics, like talking about this, like, you know, the quantum and this and that, like, you know, spiritual mediums, which I think many are beautiful souls, but I think it's important to, yeah, have an authentic perspective. So we can only wish, strangely enough, unconsciously we're on the same page, but you chose to project basically your inability to discern or properly differentiate who's actually trying to, I don't know, be authentic. So thank you for, I don't know, whatever this is, brother. Remember the owner of a band invited me to a kava bar yesterday. That sucks, bro. Seems like Pirates of the Caribbean says, what is it? Yeah, like, Davy Jones dogged you left and right. I don't know. It's just basically you're having bad luck. It's like, what is it? It's, something dogs you left and right. Bad luck dogs you left and right. I don't know. It was Parts of the Caribbean line. Bliss. We're gonna take a step inside because there's lots of wind. Kind of create a different atmosphere. Warm up, and then probably go for a stroll in the outdoors. Yeah. Oh damn! The wind had knocked over my Tyler Century painting. One moment, friends. One moment, friends. All the books, all these beautiful, beautiful books. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I'd love to concentrate a period of my life to just strictly just create some beautiful literature or focus on reading literature. You know, it's just like, this is why I like to go to the library very frequently. The library is such a magical place, right? Like, just to have a place that's literally just designated to be able to just, you know, sit there and read books, have a silent space to just read and engage in literature. Just such a magical place. You know, I feel like when some people, they go there just to kind of like study, you know, intellectualize, that's fine. That's okay. But, you know, I personally love to go to the library just to be in the silent room, you know, just to be around all those that are just reading, you know, applying themselves, engaging in the mind. And just read about metaphysics and, you know, lucid dreaming. I am part English, yes. Thank you for chiming in, Dub. Appreciate you, dog. Interesting. I guess it is Sunday. That's why we're having more than usual random people preaching. Yeah. You have a blessed day, Victoria. You seem like a sweet soul. Thank you for sharing. I mean, honestly, this is not a religious channel. We're a music channel here. But, you know, honestly, from source, from a true spiritual connection and essence, I commend you. I commend, the energy and the love that you offer and that you embody, no matter what your choice of religious, I'd say, context. Good Sunday. A beautiful Sunday indeed. Very good Sunday. Oi, thank you. I'm glad you changed your mind. I'm glad you came around, bruv. I think we've been met with some unparalleled amounts of not even unhinged energy, but people that just want to like bounce around their thoughts, and I'm here for it. I'm not the kind of guy to try to censor people or be like, hey, like you can't speak your truth. But that being said, we as a guy, as a musician, YouTuber guy, I have an intention with this channel. I like to create a community that's, aligned on values and aligned in intention, and yeah, just makes things beautiful. Do I support Israel? I mean, contextually, of course, doesn't, but I don't know I have no comment on a political domains, my friend. Yeah, that's said, yeah, with a blatancy. This is not here political ideology, political argumentation, if you will, religious ideologies. This is not the place, my friends. If you desire to, air out these things, express your truth, hold space for an intelligent philosophical argument, I commend you highly. I think that's the way. You're doing great. But that's not the channel for this. Like, if that's your intention to share and try to preach religious or political ideologies, you can leave. Thank you very much. It's okay. Find another channel. There's other channels where people want to hold space for that. I imagine. I don't know. I have no idea. But this is a music channel, friends. Among various. Don't do drugs. Okay, then. No. It's not a place for political convo. Absolutely. No. I'm glad you guys get it. I'm glad you guys get the intention. Yeah, it's fair. It's fair, brother. Because, I like to, the way I like to articulate it is like, blah, 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 dumb, blah, blah. Wait, I think we got a polarized, like, bipolar, manic disorder friend here. Tune him on. I gotta ask you not to spam the chat with your, whatever this is. Or I'm gonna have to, take the 5 seconds to just sit you out. Make you not commentable. And I don't know, I don't like to censor people. I like people exercising free will, so, yeah. I'd say keep the spamming to a minimum. We're here to just appreciate the space, talk about music, talk about what inspires you, brother. Like, let that energy that you're directing towards whatever this is, let yourself, like, nurture healthy things, nourish, inspiration, brother, Be present. Where is that? This is what I need here. This is what I'm looking for. Actually, let's plug right into the Ableton. Make a beautiful mastered sound. Whoa. What the fuck? What's that doing? Hell yeah. Such a dramatic change. I need batteries. Can you play a little something? Nice. I got you, friend. Your vibe. Very interesting. Well, welcome to this live stream. Definitely can lose some blood flow with this hat. I'm confused with you, bro. I'm gonna do something that I don't usually do, but I'm gonna give you a little 10-minute timeout. Peace out, brother. Come back in 10 minutes. Reflect on your, what's your intention, or what are you trying to communicate, my dog? You know, it's like we're going back, brothers and sisters. We're going back to preschool. Sometimes people just need a timeout to sit in the corner. Sit in the corner and kind of think about what's going on. Think about their thoughts. Think about what they want to say. And I think our homie Tumaman, he's earned that honor. What is good? What's good? He was high. I mean, probably. That or low. I have a Dean acoustic only, but only one song. I want to play electric. I have an acoustic electric. Very nice. Very nice. That's beautiful. Appreciate you being here, Cookie. Yeah, this is also an acoustic electric. This is a Yamaha. Acoustic electrics can go really far, actually, if you really know how to master the audio. Like for here, I have a preamp here. Beautifully accents the audio. My bass is a little bit high here. Yeah. I think I need to actually grab myself some batteries for this year. Love it. Oh, wait, thank you. Yeah. Yo, what's good? What's good, Scars? What's poppin', dog? How you doing, bro? I got an out of control context question. How long is my hair? Look good in medium long hair. Nice. Thank you. Yeah. No, I got, hair down to my nipples. Yeah, that's the that's the length we're at. I'm gonna probably get a haircut maybe next week. Probably next week. I'll get my hair, probably cut it down to about there, just before shoulder or something. Cause yeah, my hair it's very long. I tie it back. I like rocking it. Kind of long. But especially with the new hat I have here, it looks super dope. Where it just kind of just accents everything. But yeah, dog. I'm gonna do a couple things. I need to grab some batteries, and then now equip myself with my 3D printed thumb pick. This is what we're going to do here. For those of you that are familiar or aren't familiar, basically usually I have like a thumbnail that I grow out, but it got damaged when I was doing strength training. So basically what you can do is you can purchase these babies. These guys, I got lots of them. But they give you these sets of these. They're 3D printed thumbnails. You can basically just pop it on. Take like a little piece of adhesive, and then it fits, so you can have a artificial pinch harmonic pick. Sounds amazing. One second, I gotta grab some batteries for my acoustic. feels nice. That fits perfectly. Yeah, but now I highly recommend. You say you're exploring an electric guitar. I've actually been getting myself. I got an Ibanez that's coming in next week, which I'm very excited about. I mean, I'm an electric guitarist as well. Like that's where I started. I was like punk rock, kind of metal, alternative rock, psychedelic rock. I just shred a lot, and then I kind of found myself fall in love with the acoustic guitar over the last 11 years or so, and that's been fun. Let's see. Is that one? Everything's just falling around. Yeah, basically what I love to do is I take this adhesive here, just take a tiny piece, just outfit it to this here, just kind of slap it on here, give myself a nice thumb pick. Might not have done that properly, but it doesn't matter. I find there's very specific ways you can like outfit this so it works optimally for the artificial harmonic. But the best way to do it, truthfully, is a finger pick. Like to have an actual thumbnail that's grown out. That's why I love growing mine out. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta improvise. And then you just... yeah. Perfect. Yep. Wrong outside. Yeah, dog. Oh yeah, that works really well. That's very clean. What's good, bruv? Thank you. I'm in love with this hat. Sometimes I lose a little bit of blood flow, or if I'm like, dancing or trying to like kiss someone, it's like, bop, it's like in my face. But beyond that, very lots of positives. It feels good. Damn, that's so long. Should get cut. Look good regardless. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Yes. Yeah, my historically, the ladies love the long hair for some reason. Like my partners, I've always loved the long hair, even though I'll be sometimes kind of like, I'm like, this is a lot. I'm like, I don't know if this is the move, but hair is yeah. We're curious about the books. You mean the books? Like all these books back here? I got lots of books. But the core books, I think I've talked about this once or twice. Let me put this other hat over here. There we go. I read a lot of metaphysical philosophy right now and lucid dreaming philosophy. And lots of stuff. That's really good. But namely, yeah, lucid dreaming books, some Andrew Holisek books, and of course Joe Dispenza. This is the one I've been enamored with. I've been reading parts about this. Joe Dispenza becoming supernatural. Truthfully, Joe Dispenza's kind of a, I don't know. He's a eccentric, kind of different. I think he's on the spectrum or something. He's a good guy though. Genius, like of his time. But yeah, he's a good guy. Shut up, blah 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 blah. Finn Taylor, who is you and why are you on my stream? I'm not sure if you're my target audience, bruv. Yeah. There we go. That's the sound I'm going for. That's what I'm going for, ladies and gentlemen. What did you miss? I'd say you're right on time, yeah. Ingo Swan. Very nice. Black Sabbath. Very nice. Sprints and ice bath river baths. I actually haven't been doing cold plunges the last 3 days. Because if you've been on the streams the last 3 days, I was actually sick for about 4 or 5 days. Like I had some sort of allergic reaction from, I think it was the river. I couldn't exactly figure out which thing was going on there, but yeah. So I haven't been doing those cold plunges in the river, and the sprints. Did them for 40 days straight, which was a massive, massive thing. Well, thank you for the engagement, but we're gonna make an executive decision, my friend. There you go. See ya, bro. See ya, bro. I don't think Finn was. I don't think he was our target audience anyway. Didn't seem like he was the sharpest crayon, so to speak. He'll figure it out though. He'll figure it out one day. I sent out what we're doing for the charity stream. Sick, dude. Optimize the volume a little bit. Do some mastering. Interesting. It's a little bit bassy, but we'll figure it out. These speakers, though. Okay, that sounds good. I think we've mastered that beautifully. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, usually I'm happy to do some beautiful mental jujitsu and just be like, roast him to an inch of his life. But I don't know. Today it's like, you know, I'm feeling mellow. I've had a beautiful 24 hours. I was out till like 3 a.m. Beautiful rave, phenomenal show. Saw some live violin, some beautiful electronic music. You know, I'm just like, I'm feeling mellow. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I feel like Buddy was cooked. I don't know. And truthfully, like, you know, in the simplest way, homie was lost. He was lost. He's on a ship, you know, floating through the ocean, lost at sea. He didn't know what the fuck he's not yeah, didn't belong here. Didn't know what he was doing. Welcome to this live stream. What's poppin', Muse? What's good, Amy? Yeah, it's funny. I know you were saying yesterday, Amy, wouldn't it be dope if I did my live stream when I was at the rave? I actually did. For like 15, 20 minutes, I did beautiful stream where I was at the rave, but then I actually, like I expected, I got little copyright thing popped up. So then I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to delete this because we don't want to risk copyrighted. As much as I love, you know, sharing the beautiful rave scene that I love so much. I think though what I'm going to do is, it made me realize, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grow my Instagram. In the future, I'll just do lives on Instagram where I do the same thing. So I'll guide my audience to my Instagram and then do live streams at the rave and places where copyright infringement isn't so, pertinent, if that's the word. Because, you know, my YouTube, I want to monetize. This is my business. But Instagram, that's gonna be my more playful, unhinged space. Good times though, good times. Yeah, no, I think it's almost like, from what I understand, they can claim you, and if they claim you enough, eventually that can just negatively impact like the algorithm. It's just yeah. I'm not an expert either, but I think I just don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like copyright claims, infringement, it may not uh destroy my channel fundamentally, it's not right away, but it also, I think it does affect like the algorithm. Like you can get sort of like algorithmic shadow banny kind of bullocks. I don't know. It's a thing I try not to tread. To leave me on the stream earlier, but I was at the Kava bar. Yeah, that's tight. Yeah, I'm not sure what a Kava bar is, but sick. Yeah. Yeah, those are the breaks. I mean, yeah. It was raining like crazy, I know, after the show, but didn't matter. Nah. I was equipped and I was feeling good. A little bit gentle, or yeah. Oh, there we go. Forms pretty well. What's good, Jay? What's good, brother? Thumbs up. Feel chords to be restricting. Interesting. Chords to be restricting. I don't know, I feel like with advanced finger style, chords can be such a powerful, domain. Where like, say you're, doing this. Like you just kind of like use a chord as like a reference or a returning point. Bass is still getting a little bit wild with it, but yeah. Stunning sound. Thank you, Katerina. I agree, it's good times. But that's the thing, is like, I think this is actually what I've learned a lot from improvising piano and blending the worlds of piano with acoustic guitar. Is piano is a very gentle, nuanced instrument where you're like, you're playing triads and you're blending triads and you're doing like basically piano rolls. Like you're doing a roll, which is with the acoustic guitar finger style. You're doing like 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can go like. And that sort of like gentle nuance of like gentle progression, that I feel is like a very diverse and multi-dimensional tool where you can be like. So I think it's almost like, in my experience, the key to integrating like chords is like understanding how to successfully navigate keys and scales in a way where you can like integrate fingerstyle progression. So it's like scaling, and then you'd be like, you know, and then you can kind of scale on top. It's almost like learning to use chords as your rhythm. You know, if you're playing a guitar in a band, you have a rhythm guitar player, which is your chords, and then the lead is your secondary, your soloing. So it's basically like you're playing the role of the rhythm and the lead at the same time, and the chords are basically reference points to creating rhythm. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't know. I'm a little bit sleep deprived, so my explanation of breaking down theory is a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, you get it. Sounds like you're in the forest with fairies. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's beautiful. Absolutely, I feel that. I feel that way too. I mean, all it's like. Ancient sounds. That's what I love. But of course, you know, music as a whole, I think I get bored easy. I'm a visual artist, but I want to sing and play. Nice. Yeah, I get bored easily too, so that resonates. Yeah, sure. I'm a dude that gets bored easy, but I'm also a guitarist of 16 years, so I got bored easily, but then I figured out how to get non-bored, like over and over and over and over and over again. You know, of course, it's 16, 17 years, so that's, yeah, those are the breaks. And I really feel a lot of creative pursuits, like whether we're talking about, you know, guitar, songwriting, or like tutting, like dancing. It's all about learning to honor novelty, like honor the ability to extract novelty in everything you do. And a part of that's like the same essence of improv, because I improvise a lot. All I do is improvisation, pretty much, on these streams. And you know, when you explore improvisation, it's like you get to this place where you're really learning to just like breathe life into simple things. You know, you're taking something and kind of like exercising this mentality to always find the ability to weave in a new novel pathway. So it's like, you know, you can always do like a simplistic form of like 1, 2, 3, 4, or like, you know, that's like a simple scale, but then you can like, you can just bounce around the map, essentially, bounce around the grid. And eventually it's just, yeah, it's super fun. Picked it up in 6 years, starting to go over and place the sense. Yeah, that's valid. That's valid, Cookie. I like to kind of offer some perspective of, yeah, like, you gotta be profoundly patient. Like, the guitar is a very unique instrument. It's a unique endeavor as a whole. Like, I think there's so much you can learn from guitar if you go down that rabbit hole, right? And obviously the first initial piece of that is learning to just, like, honor the process of developing finger strength, right? Developing calluses. Like, you have to have it. And that's like, it's a request to just be patient. You got to be really patient with yourself. And also, it's allowing you to exercise the ability to focus on the vision that is not in front of you. You know, the goal, the delayed gratificated goal. And that's a thing that a lot of people struggle with. Like, a lot of people, if you tell them, hey, like, we're not gonna give you a progress or an actual incremental incremental gain until 5, 6 years down the road. Most people look at you and be like, man, well, why would I do this? But the fact is, guitar is like, it's an invitation to be able to see the long-term vision and understand why that's important to, just to see how to see things in a larger context, in a larger scope. It's like when I look at it, like a lot of the techniques that I do, I've been doing guitar for 16 plus years, or 16 and a half maybe. A lot of these techniques I didn't even get remotely good at till about 8, 9 years in the style that I did. Like, I picked up this acoustic guitar 11 years ago. I learned, harmonics, and I was like, okay, I can kind of do a harmonics. Like, that's how I was like sloppy, but like executing harmonics. But I was enamored. I was like, I love this. I want to do this. 9 years later, I was good at, executing these harmonics. So it's almost like it's a game of patience. Like, how patient can you be when evolving and learning something that takes years and years of precision? It's discipline. It's discipline 101. It's perseverance 101. So yeah. But I mean, long story short, all the best things in the world are on the other side of that level of devotion and discipline. Like, if you can pick up a guitar and bang out something like, that's takes years of devotion, you can basically do anything. You can literally do anything. There's not a single thing you can't pick up and be like, okay, well, I'll take that same level of application and discipline and patience and apply that to anything, and you will succeed. It's like, I was never, as a 11-year-old kid who learned the guitar, I had zero talent. Like, I was dog shit at guitar for like 5, 6 years. And then it wasn't until, year about 10, 11, 12 that I actually realized that, wow, I'm actually getting really good at this. And that's the core thing that's so ingrained, I feel like, and important to learn is perseverance. It's just realizing that if you truly stick with something, if you persevere past the process of thinking, well, I've tried and failed over and over and over again, you just persevere. You almost like tell yourself, what would happen if I just continuously applied myself, just stuck around and see what happens after X amount of time. It's a very fundamental thing, but I feel like a lot of people, for whatever reason, they don't recognize that. They think, they get caught in the pressure and the expectations of society and other people, and they compare themselves to other people, and they, get caught in these egoic journeys, but they don't realize that a lot of people, they had to grind so fucking hard to get to the point where they're at, and that's the point, right? It's like what is on the other side of 10, 15, 16 years of applying yourself to something beautiful. But most people, something like guitar, most people, they started with nothing. They started with years and years of just crippling failure to it. Not everybody, but I know. I also just love the guitar. Can you play Sleep by Punch? I have no idea how the song is, brother. I confidently can say I don't know how to perform that. Let's flip this right off. Goodbye. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Have you ever basked traveling? Basques traveling. I'm not sure what you mean by that, my friend. You mean busk? Busk traveling? Traveling busking? Basque. Travel. Traveling. Basque. B-A-S-Q. No. Yeah, no idea, brother. No. Slightly less equipped to do some of these nuances. Shout out sleep deprivation. Yo, thank you. Objectively, it's coming together. It's coming together. It's nice. What about sailing? Sailing. Also never sailed. Yeah. Basking, like playing in the street. That's busking, my friend. That's busking. B-U-S-K-I-N-G. Yeah. And yes, I have busked. I actually, fun fact is that's how this channel started, actually. It's in my mission statement on my channel, but I basically developed a busking act about a year and a month ago. Traveling, no, I haven't traveled a lot. That's actually part of my intention as a YouTuber. I'm very determined to travel and YouTube, basically do live stream performance and travel. But no, I busk around, my city. Busk around the city of, Vancouver and all that sort of area. Welcome. Hello, Alicia. I'm good. I'm very good. Life's been great. Nice and sleep deprived a little bit. I was at a rave to about 3 a.m., but, those are the breaks. C'est la vie, baby. Yeah, bro, to Ian Colto. Yeah, bro, basically, I started this channel I basically developed the busking act. If you look back to my very first content, I would do meditative sound journeys, basically remixing movie scores, video game soundtracks. That's actually the busking act I performed. I developed that, again, about a year and a bit ago. I'm definitely, when it gets warmer, I'm going to start busking and going around, doing live performances, doing like stream busks. But but basically, the way that this channel's evolved is I basically translated the ability and the skill sets that I learned from doing live busking to this channel. I brought it here. I was like, what if I transfer similar dynamics and direct that into building a community on YouTube, right? And just creating, performing music, teaching music. It's almost like this is like the perfect parallel that is similar to busking, but has a deeper context. But yeah. But I think it doesn't matter if you're traveling, bro. Traveling here, that, the other. Busking is, it's a challenging, difficult, but rewarding endeavor, no matter. Like, you could walk down the street, you could, go down to the different subcultures or parts of your city, and it offers a very powerful experience no matter what. It's pretty heavy experiencing, but near to nirvana. Beautiful. Yeah, dog. Again, there's I speak of this very openly, where there's very few things that are more, I'd say, spiritually connecting and also challenging than going out and busking in your city. Like, especially if you're not a very developed artist. Personally for me, I'm pretty confident in my ability to improvise and perform. But even then, to go into the middle of a street with a bunch of strangers and set up your music and improvise and perform, very powerful experience. And yeah, honestly, it transformed. Like, a year ago when I started doing that, that was like a spiritual experience. I swear. Like, opened my perspective so much and humbled me, but also inspired me so much. That is also, again, that's what inspired me and catapulted me into making this YouTube channel. Among various things, Take care of the mind, body, and soul. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, YouTube rocks, yeah. Less rambling. I don't know, bro. You're here for it. This is my facilitation. I'm going to talk exactly when I desire to talk. I'll play music exactly when I desire to play music. But thank you for being here. And yeah, feel free to leave whenever you desire. Yeah. I'm only on YouTube exclusive. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, YouTube is like a very sacred portal to me. Like, I feel like, you know, I've always had this powerful connection and desire to grow a YouTube channel. Like, it was always like, I feel like it's a high honor to be a part of this community. So to actually like crystallize this, to be a part of it, has been magical. Like, I feel like YouTube is 1000% the place where I want to succeed. You know, maybe in the future I'll expand outwards, but need some hydration. Thank you, Alicia. That's kind of you. Can you do 28 Days Theater late? 28 days later. I have no idea what that song is, brother. No. Feeling into your somatic body. Let yourself honor your felt experience. And return to the awareness that you feel you have within your capability, within the infinite realms of creation that you have to create. I like the sound. Me too, my friend. And me too. I searched for you on Insta, but wasn't able to find. Fix your SEO. Able to find, you should fix your SEO. What's my SEO? If I were to tell you that I'm sad, heartbroken even, what would you do? I mean, I would hold space the same way that I would, but I would also remind you that we are in a 3D, Alicia. We're in the 3D reality. You know, we are in this temperate flux of emotions and experience. And the 3D is, you know, the polarized human experience, right? You're here for this, the highs, the lows, the bliss, the ecstasy, the emotional turmoil. So be present with it. You know, if you feel heartbroken, sad, that's okay. You know, that's fine. We're all humans. We're all here to experience this 3D duality, this polarity, right? The polarity of your positive and negative emotional experiences, and that's completely okay. But, you know, it's like there's like a Japanese philosophy of what is it? There's like I forget the exact context of it or the whole story, but basically, you know, the Japanese farmer has a person come to his farm, and he says like, our village has been raided or something like that. Like, you know, like everything is like is going to burn down to the floor or something. And the farmer says, what does he say? He says, you know, something like, yeah, it's like that's okay, or it's like, nah, forget the exact. Basically, it's the neutrality of things. Everything's gonna change. You know, if things are working out beautifully for you, amazing. You know, they will eventually. Things will change. Things will shift. They will polarize. You know, things can't always be beautiful and ecstatic and blissful. Things can't always be turmoilic and sad and harrowing. You know, things will constantly be in a state of flux. So if things are not working in your favor, beautiful things are on the way. You know, things have to change. They will shift. As in, if you're, you know, experiencing bliss and ecstasy and things are moving in your favor, inevitably things will shift. You know, things will change. It's the nature of reality. You can't, you got to embrace it, right? We're just humans. I'll search for you. Yeah, no, to Unculto, I haven't disclosed my personal Instagram. I don't have a professional one on here as of yet, but do I know Cannibal Corpse? I can't say I do, brother. Definitely do not know how to perform that. Yeah. Yo, what's good? What's good, bro? Welcome, J3Z Productions. And I will say this much, though, to Alicia. Recognize that a part of this reality, right? A part of this honor of being a human is also having this core ability to transmute energy, right? You know, we have this innate ability as humans, as expressionists, as artists, as however you desire to be, right? You have the ability to transmute energy. This is the core thing that I think separates one that might find themselves, you know, struggling under the weight of this human experience versus someone who's able to just take this human experience and direct that raw energy and create something beautiful. As you're allowed to, a part of this human experience is allowing yourself to take raw energy and honor it by transmuting this. You know, whether this is grief, happiness, sadness, turmoil, anger, frustration. You know, we as humans have this innate ability to transmute energy. You know, to transform these raw emotions into something, you know, into expression, into words, into dance, into music, into composition. Like that's I think a really, really important part of the human experience. And if you can honor your emotions, you know, whatever it is, wherever you're feeling it, then you will understand the raw nature of everything. Like you'll understand that everything is kind of like this raw energy that you get to choose to embody. It's beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. I'm a little bit sleep deprived, but this is what I believe. Like this is my, yeah. Even being eaten by wolves is nirvana. If you're you're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong, dude or woman or, because that's the thing. That's actually a spiritual teachers. They speak of this a lot. There is no such thing as like the way we try to perceive things that are, you know, like harrowing or turmoilic or, you know, it's almost like the most harrowing depths of the human experience can and has deep spiritual significance. Like we have the ability to perceive, experience, and find enlightenment in these things. And it sounds almost like esoteric or, you know, something like a ancient guru would say, but like, oh, it's, you know, even the depths of this. But it's actually like when you really think about it, when you really understand it, like, you know, you could be in the slums of some random town where everything is chaos and turmoil, and there is something powerfully spiritually significant there. You know, the light of the beings and the souls and the overcoming and the potency that is there, that is there. That is like magical when you allow yourself to be present with that. And you have to obviously you gotta process and understand that. Am I wearing eyeliner? I've never worn eyeliner, but I'm sure I'd rock it, dog. I'm sure I'd rock it if I decided to. See, I was taking time to talk through this. Very nice. I'm loving how this 3D printed thumbnail is working so beautifully. So beautifully. It's magic. Sleep deprivation round. I'll put my visual on the channel. Let's see, but people want to see cooking more. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I could go on a wicked tangent about my perception of what it takes to grow a successful YouTube channel and understanding, like, basically, because, I create content, and I will create content in the future, probably on Patreon, other content portals. I just talk about everything. Like, I philosophize, I talk about masculine energy, I talk about metaphysics, I talk about strength training, I talk about, healing yourself with this, that, the other. But primarily, this channel, it's devoted to teaching people slap harmonics and creating meditative sound journeys and holding space for people and building community that basically is people connecting um, spiritually to music. They're creating a sacred context to music. That's a part of the intention of this channel. Um, it's going to go in many different directions, but you'll be surprised to learn how nuanced growing a YouTube channel is. Where basically, this almost like the psychological, spiritual quest of being a YouTuber is learning to step outside of the ego that wants to create content solely for you. And even further, it's about realizing that you as a person, as a creator, as a creative expressionist, you have value. You have extraordinary value, 1000%. And your value, really deserves to be brought into this, the foregrounds or into the limelight. But your value needs to be successfully received by that which values you, by that which perceives your value, right? That's in the simplest right. I'm kind of making this poetic. It's finding your target audience, right? It's finding your niche and your target audience. It's finding what content you put out that the algorithm is going to successfully guide your audience to. It's like, you got to realize that you can make beautiful art. You can make, you can cook incredible food, and you can make multiple niches. You can succeed in multiple avenues, and you can succeed in all of these avenues. You can succeed potentially in any given niche, any given avenue you desire to as a YouTuber. But you need to realize there's a deeper dimension to this. You can't just, because even further, like, if I'm being very frank, is like YouTube, like, if we think about this has been studied by like business YouTubers, and they're very blatant about this. YouTube is a search engine. It's a search engine. It's an algorithm based on specificity, on specialization. The more you specialize in something, one specific thing, that is like your niche, so to speak, that is what is going to help the algorithm deliver your audience, right? So long story short, I guess basically what I'm saying is you could succeed in visual art if you desired to. You could also succeed in cooking. But you have to build your brand or your niche around that. If you're going to try to do both and you're splitting your niche, you're splitting your audience, you're confusing the algorithm, you're going to fail at both. Maybe quintessentially, I don't know how that's going, but it's almost like you got to be like focusing specificity. Yeah. How many women am I dating? I think, Jack, this is your troll account, right? This is your secondary. Let's see, how do I do this? One second, I'm just trying to figure out. Forgot there was a way. This time, yeah, that's the button I was looking for. He's just I mean, that dude, he's been literally following this channel for like a month or two now. And he literally just like comes in, drops unhinged stuff. I've what's the word? Hidden all his comments on all his other accounts. But the one I was like kind of just giving him leeway. I was like, all right, this is your last chance, brother. But I don't know. I think Jack is he's a dedicated troll. Homie doesn't seem to have a lot of self-awareness, and that's okay. He'll find his place. A core magician was Thank you, bro. I guess the illusion is complete. Yeah, I'm a performance artist, brother. So I look like how I am. I like doing cool, trippy stuff. Yeah. Food was my slave gig. Damn, that's your slave gig. That's powerful. I mean, all I'll say to this cookie is the thing you need to understand about succeeding in YouTube. I mean, there's various parts to this, but let's be real here. There are specific niches that will succeed on YouTube. There are specific niches that will not succeed in YouTube. Like, you need to realize that. Like, if you look at this objectively, does YouTube have a target audience or a demand for maybe whatever niche you're trying to approach? Whether it's visual art, whether it's cooking, whether it's the style of cooking, like you got to be honest and ask yourself, is there really, like, is there truly a space, like a demand for whatever it is your niche or your brand you're trying to develop? Because even if you're the best YouTuber in the world, you're the best cook or visual artist in the world, you need to realize YouTube is a very specific, it's a search engine, it's a platform, it's a business, it's a complex business, right? You want to be certain that your vision aligns with what YouTube actually needs. Like, is there an actual need and necessity for whatever niche you're trying to focus? It's like the same thing. Like, I wouldn't want to discourage anyone ultimately, but I also like to be very blatant and blunt because I've been studying YouTube, for quite a long time. Like, last couple of years, I've been like tentatively exploring and, just trying to understand what makes someone succeed on YouTube. And yeah, it's like, if you're like a gamer, right? You're a gamer, extraordinarily oversaturated niche, and you're like, I want to be a gamer and I want to be a gamer YouTuber and I'm doing the same thing everyone else is doing, and you don't offer value maybe particularly that's unique or whatever. Not to throw salt at anyone if that's your passion or niche. Like, it's the idea that you got to be blatantly honest. Like, part of succeeding as like a person that wants to grow a business, as you're whatever you want to do, if you're an entrepreneur or whatever, you got to be really clear. You got to be like honest if what you're offering actually has a demand. And if it doesn't, like if you're like, okay, maybe there's not a massive demand, well, allow yourself to, step outside of your box, figure out where there is a demand, where you can, really find something that you can offer to this beautiful portal and that will naturally grow and allow you to translate to some dimension of success. I don't know, it's, yeah. Are we plain and simple YouTubing? Yeah, I don't know. It's food for thought. Food for thought. Yeah. What is the movement? Interesting. I feel like this homie is very likely Jack's account, Jack's 7th account, but yeah, bro, the movement, it's not necessarily like, I kind of explained this a little bit earlier. I call this a shame movement, that's like the search engine type thing, is because the movement is more like, I was referring to like moving energy, like moving your body, circulating energy, various parts of it, but surely it's like the movement is kind of like the larger context of what this entire channel is about. It's about connecting musically, allowing yourself to connect with inspiration, and how you can almost like connect with a sacred context in that. But there's many different elements. Again, I'm not necessarily in control of the movement. The movement is what this community is. Like the movement is like the larger context of how this community is going to unravel, based on music, meditative styles of music, just like a kindred love for music, and then just, all these little elements of it. Yeah. Well, Ashay is like this is the brand. This is like the energy of it. This is actually a word. Long story short, like there's a long story to this, but basically I had experience where I did chonga, which is a form of DMT, like 9-10 years ago for the first time, and I was like meditating in front of this mountaintop, and I had that word for whatever reason just organically flow through me. Like, I just randomly never heard this word in my life, and I was just watching the mountains, watching the sun rise, and was kind of just, in love with life. I was feeling very connected. And I remember, for whatever reason, just kind of sighing out and saying that word, just in reverence, just, Ashay, Ashay. And it turns out this word is culturally significant. Like, it has a deep connection to the ancient Yoruba Africans, to Swedish culture, to Brazilian culture, to French culture. Like, it has a deep significance, and it's a very sacred word. In my channel, in the header, if you go to my channel right here, I actually express everything of what a shay is, and there's many different realms of it. It's a deeply woven word. It's a very ancient word, but yeah, I love the word deeply. Yeah, that's fair to Cookie. I mean, that's that's beautiful. Like, if you're just doing it for fun, like, then nothing I said is truly, nothing to focus. Again, like, I'm the kind of guy that, I mean, I've taken time to, like, organically grow as a person, crystallizing my intention, what I think I desire to do as a YouTuber, while also being very honest with myself, of being, like, honest with my boundaries of social media, of what the intention and tone of what I desire to build as a YouTuber. I've been reflecting on my intention with this for years, where, as I do with many things, and it feels like my quest has brought me to this point very intentionally, where I've been ready to bring this to a larger vision. And I'll be honest, I speak of this very openly in this channel, is like, I'm having fun, growing this. I'm really just trying to, like, grow the community, just create a beautiful, high quality content experience, right? Just be authentic with my experience. But the larger vision is, I basically just want to do what I do regularly. Like, I want to travel the world as a musician, create content, stream, go to beautiful parts of the world, and be a full-time YouTuber, like, be a full-time music YouTuber. So that's where, like, my level of, like, transparency, being like, yeah, this is kind of part of what I desire to do, and how I understand what allows someone to succeed as a YouTuber. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Like, this is just my experience. I'm not an expert, but I'm just a dude that has devoted the last 8 months going from 0 subscribers to, where I'm at now, which is, like, I guess 1.17K, so 1,070. And I'm pretty proud. I'm like, okay, something's working. My efforts have translated beautifully. And I think among just studying the algorithm, like, none of that really matters if you're not really, like, I'd say, disciplined and committed as a person. Like, if you want to grow a YouTube channel, the core thing is, obviously, you just got to be passionate about your vision, about your mission. Like, you really feel on a deep level that what you desire to bring to this space is an extension of your being. Like, for me, it's like, I go to these streams, like, a mass majority of the time, just to hold space, to play meditative music, to talk about philosophy, things I deeply love, like, I deeply resonate with, and I truly believe that this community at large really does resonate and benefit from having this space. But yeah, I don't know. I think we all have our own sort of path, and whatever allows us to find just happiness, right? Like, whatever really just, like, yeah, translates. I like seeing your true heart. Thank you, brother. I'm definitely nice and sleep deprived. Trust. Usually I'm a little more quick. Quick to the draw, if you will. Just pow. But that ass, I'm like, nah, these are things that flow through me like water. Like, I've been streaming every day for, like, sometimes hours a day for the last, like, 4 months. And I don't intend to slow down anytime soon. Like, even though I'm, like, sleep deprived, chilling, like, I love this stuff. I love this shit. I love this channel with my entire heart. But the reality of it is, yeah, I have a vision. Like, I think YouTube is just like anything in life, right? If you can understand your deeper context, like, you can look deeply into your most ambitious vision and set your sights on that. Doesn't matter necessarily what trials or what time restraints or what sort of tangible things may be in front of your path, you will succeed, right? You will find success in a way, because you have succeeded far before the actual tangibility or materialistic successes has ever been there, right? I guess long story, what I'm saying is yeah, I strongly believe that you succeed in your mind, right, way before you succeed in this world. It's just an inevitability. Like whether we're talking about being a professional, this, that, the other, musician, YouTuber, whatever, it's like you succeed within your belief system. Like you succeed within like how you formulate that. And again, that's like it's almost like you succeed in your mind way before you might ever succeed in reality. And that's how you win. Like that's how you convince yourself in the deepest right. You're like, I have already made it. I'm already living, a massive array of beautiful success that I'm grateful for. And then all you're doing is you're multiplying that eventually. It was free. Sure. Some of us don't have time. True, yes and no, but I won't go too deeply into this, but we can another time because I would love to hold space for your thought stream. But I'll be honest, to Cookie, what you're expressing is a paradox. You're expressing a paradox. Like no matter what is, yes, it takes time to grow a business. Yes, it takes time to invest and develop an XYZ. But you do realize you're unlocking the paradox. Like when you do it, you have to create, because this is the thing. For a guy like me, I work in film, I accept casting calls, I have money I'm sitting on, I really value every second of my time that I invest into my business, but, I'm 8 months, from 0 to 8 months, this is where my channel's been, right? Haven't made a single cent. I don't intend to make a single cent until maybe like 3 or 4 more weeks when I get monetized. But the idea is from that point on, from 8 months, I haven't made a single cent, and I've been at peace with that. That's the point. The long-term goal is that what I will eventually unlock, in maybe multiple months' time, where this income will have an infinite ceiling. It's the idea is that you basically have to realize how to transcend the value of your time. And this doesn't just apply to being a YouTuber. This applies to everything. Is if you value your time of like, oh, it's $30 an hour, and I'm trading my time for money, and then you box that belief in where you genuinely believe that's what your time is worth, $30 or 20 or whatever you make in your job, and you believe that deep down to your core. The idea of trying to value your time elsewise seems insane. The idea of almost doing something where you're not making money, but you're creating something that has an infinite potential to split open the model of time. This seems like an insanity. This seems like insanity for most people. But I'm telling you, that's the paradox you have to split open. You think you don't have time, but in reality, you're buying the infinite time that you will have in the future. You have to basically split open the model and transcend it to realize that you don't necessarily understand how little you don't actually have. Like until you've opened the model and actually basically transcended the idea of time. I mean, it kind of sounds, again, kind of metaphysical and poetic, but it's as simple as what I'm saying is basically you have to grind and work very hard to see a vision only you can see, to eventually transcend this model that you think you don't have time. You think you need to always, and again, don't get me wrong, I don't know your life, I don't know the majority of everyone. You're right, some people have different opportunities or have different scarcity-based mindsets and models. Some people have, different strifes and different trials. We're all unique. But I'm telling you, this is a universal thing. Like, it doesn't matter if you desire to be a YouTuber or successful in this, that, the other. There are endeavors that split open the models of how you receive income. Maybe you will never achieve that one day. Maybe most people will never. But this is the reality. Like, this is, many people do this. Many people do this. And this is basically about forming your relationship and your model or your belief system in relation to money. And again, I can't show you what this looks like, because this is a thing you have to like uniquely learn to see and understand. But I'm telling you, this is how it works. It's a very weird paradox. Like people think, oh, I don't have time because I'm busy making X amount of money, confirming my belief that my time is worth this. You realize your belief of how you receive money for your time is literally just a singular belief system. You can and have the ability to split that open and change that entirely till your money or your time becomes infinitely more valuable than you could ever begin to imagine. And you receive more than you could ever imagine for your time. Again, it's a very weird paradox. But yeah. I don't know what to tell you, Colto. I don't know what to tell you, Colto. Thank you for sharing, though. Yeah. 3 eyes, 2 to look and 1 to see with. I like that. I like that. Destruction action of time only allows us to what is superior. Whoa, there we go. Yeah, it's again, these are tricky parallels because I talk about these things. It may trigger some people, it may confuse some people to some degree. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Hopefully, if you're in my community, you keep an open mind and open heart. But I'm talking to you as a devoted performance artist for 16 years of my life. I've I've broke open the model of regular society over and over and over again, way past the point you could ever imagine. Like, I'm telling you, I was just a regular dude for many years. I was working regular jobs. I was juggling school, training martial arts, writing music. Like, I was freaking in the system, in the society. And again, I'm not saying I'm outside of that necessarily, but I'm telling you, you have to challenge very actively the models. You got to learn to split these models wide open. And it takes a lot of, I would say, reprogramming, a lot of conscious effort, sure, to some degree, but again, a lot of true, like, honest reprogramming of what you really desire to create in this world. And a lot of it, again, it's like societal programming is deep. It's a deeply woven thing. And my path is maybe different from yours, as individuals, but I believe a lot of these precepts that I'm, advocating, these are universal truths. Like, I'm not just saying, like, from oh my, but to me to this, but time, how I perceive it, this. And no. These are universal truths that if you learn to apply these things, like you learn to split open your belief system, understand that your perception of time, that you think, but I'm limited, but I only have this, or but I really deserve this much for my time. Like, you have these warped perceptions and belief systems of how you receive income in relation to your time. These are belief systems that are probably not serving you, or profoundly limited. And I'm not saying, like, wake up tomorrow and be like, all right, let's rethink my life and take radical action. I mean, maybe, but the idea is that these are seeds to be planted. These are seeds to be nurtured. These are seeds to, like, grow into a tree that maybe one day you'll look at your life and be like, maybe these beliefs that I've believed about how society has told me what I'm worth and what I should be doing with my time, my energy, and maybe these weren't well-founded. Maybe these were rooted out of fear. Maybe these were a weird paradox that was actually trapping me, when in reality, you need to allow yourself to see something broader. How will you see that? Well, that's up to you as an individual, right? But anyway, I can reopen that Pandora's box at some point, but this channel it's not necessarily about teaching people how to become a YouTuber. I mean, if that serves the role, then wonderful. But my primary role is to just teach people guitar, teach people to have fun and just, like, express themselves, create a meditative space. My journey is my journey alone, and I'd love to believe it can teach people things. But yeah, it's all up to objective perspective. Beautiful. What's good, Australia? Blessings from Canada. Yo, what's good, Scotland? Much love, brother. Blessings from Canada. This worst thing a man can do is waste today's time. It's true. Like, bro, I mean, I don't even want to, I mean, I don't want to go too deep down that rabbit hole, but, Bruce Lee, he was right. For a man or a person who wastes time doesn't really value life and existence. And, like, I don't know about you, but, like, a lot of us, we're, like, paralyzed by the ability to make healthy decisions. Like, a lot of us, we make shitty decisions. We make bad choices and decisions that dishonor our time. And we look at our lives and be like, oh, well, why are we, I don't know, this, that, the other? Why are we, like, feeling trapped or paralyzed or confused or locked or fragmented? Well, you realize you have more freedom than you could even begin to imagine half the time. Like, You know, your relationship with your phone, your relationship with your physiological body, your relationship with your neurological body. These are things that are often immediate reflections of your ability to apply yourself, to grow, to expand. It's almost like you have profoundly more ability and power than you could ever begin to imagine. And yeah, once you realize that, like, yeah, the core part of it is like, how are you spending your time? Like, how are you actually honoring your time and applying yourself? You know, there's some people, like, you know, this is a parallel that I remember. I was doing cold plunges and sprinting for 40 days in a row, right? I haven't for the last 3 days because I got sick for a week and etc. etc. But I'm telling you, like, as a guy that was like filling my time with like content, stream, strength train, sprints, go to river, cold plunge, freaking this, that, study lucid dreaming, sprint again, cold plunge. Like, time can go very far. Like, a lot of people, they think they don't have time. No, it's because you don't honor your time. You don't value your time. You have no idea how to actually like apply yourself. And that's okay. But that's the real underlying issue. And yes, we all have different time restraints or parallels. I've fucking worked 9 to 5 jobs constantly. I've in previous years, like, I changed my job model. Like, I was being a student full-time training martial arts 4 days a week for hours a day. Like, I understand time restraints, like 1000%. But I'm saying is these are models, these are belief systems that you have to transcend. Like, it's yeah. Anyways, I'm preaching the choir. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Sativa or indica? I mean, I haven't smoked weed in 11 years, brother, but sativa, I like sativa, I liked hybrids when I did smoke. But yeah, I haven't smoked weed for 11 years and not gonna restart anytime soon. That bass, not very equalized. Started playing guitar when I was 13. I'm 63 now. That's incredible. That's incredible. Yeah. I'm playing guitar for 16 years. But, yeah. I've been a very devoted artist for 16 years. Haven't been sick for over 5 years, no exaggeration. Nice. Very nice. I mean, I'm sure you could teach me many things. We can teach each other many things, yeah. I'm using a preamp, my friend. Yeah, this baby. So it's a tone wood amp, if you're familiar. It's a tone wood amp, and then I'm feeding it through Ableton, so audio interface, and that's like refining and mastering it. Yeah, that's impressive though, not being sick for 5 years. I wasn't sick for like a solid year and a half when I was doing Wim Hof breathing and cold plunges constantly, but yeah. Or some slip knock. No idea how to perform slip knock, brother, but yeah, cool stuff though. Research which heavily? Ah, yes, the immune system. Yeah, bro, I swear though, just doing cold plunges alone, like eating clean, training, exercising, strength training, and cold plunges alone, brother, that is like profound for the immune system. Like, I've been doing cold plunges very frequently for the last while, and it's like, yeah. Am I tuned at 432 hertz? I'm not. No, I'm not. Standard tuning. I love 432 though. I do that a lot. I think I'm actually a little bit out of tune, so I actually might be leaning towards 432. Yeah, no, but now I'm in standard, 440. Nice. Yeah, 432 hertz rocks, man. I'm a strong advocate of 432 hertz. It's a beautiful sound. Like the hat, elephant skin. It is not. It is not. And to the answer, I think someone asked me how much my hat was. This I got handmade. It's I like designed various parts of it. This was $90, I think. Yeah, I don't know, 100 I think with tax. Yeah, I don't even remember. About $90, $100. Yeah. Yeah. Magical hat. I love it. Best hat I've ever owned. Hands down. Yeah, I wanted 10 years gone at my funeral. Nice. 10 years gone. Interesting. I'm gonna look up that. 10 years, baby. Oh, Led Zeppelin. Ah, nice. Yeah, no, honestly, the maker, she's a gem. Like such a beautiful human being, the hat maker. And she also paid for the shipping, or not the shipping, what's it called? The duty fees. So ordinarily it was like $40 duty fees on top of it, but she's just such a gem. Just want to say I deeply appreciate all of you, all of you for supporting this channel, for holding space, for some of my metaphysical philosophy ramblings, but also just like even those of you that came to the space, I feel that were just a little bit not well founded, unhinged. The very few that popped in, like even you guys, bless you guys. Like the reality is like we as human beings, I think we're apt to try to like, wear these like rose-tinted glasses. We are apt to try to forget the fundamental nature of duality, of polarization, right? That we're humans, right? We're in the 3D, right? We're in this material world. This, our sensory experience, it is a polarized experience, right? We can't deny or deject the polar dimensions of who we are, right? The more we do that, that's where so much fundamental suffering, fragmentation is birthed, right? When we act like we are not just polarized beings, we're not the shadow of humanity, we're not the exact reflections of the shadows of humanity, we're all of these things. This is us, right? We're human beings. We're all connected by this polarity, right? So, whether we're here to share and hold space for love, for truth, for authenticity, for expansion, for growth, for expression, for all these beautiful things, or whether we are here to try to project the shadows and make sense of our truth. We are here. We are welcome. We are for this. We are here for all of this. We are, right? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's a slippery slope, my dog. I just talked about my partner. I've been vegetarian for 11 years. And I eat eggs, but beyond that, I don't eat cheese, don't eat dairy. I'm very, I love a clean diet. And it's a thing that I really honor But I also think ethically, morally, we as human beings, you know, whether we choose to be vegan, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, whatever, you know, meat eaters, we it's important to just be ethically aligned and integral beings, right? You know, there are people that are vegetarian, vegan, whatever, who are just genuinely disintegral as fuck, right? You know, ethically skewed beings. And I think it's important just to be a good human being. You know, our diet is a powerful reflection. And I agree. I agree with every argument in the world that anyone could say about why eating meat is not a good idea. You know, vegetarianism, veganism. I advocated again vegetarian for 11 years. I agree with all the moral arguments, but I think that people still often lose, you know, they lose sight of what it means to be a good human being. They lose sight of what it means to just be a good, decent, integral human being. There's more important things, you know, than shaming and judging and blaming and dishonoring people based on this, that, the other. And not saying that's you, brother. Like, absolutely, I would not throw you in that mold. But I think, you know, we're so apt to experience this, right? As a young kid, I remember not wanting to become a vegan or vegetarian because I associated, you know, that with people that were judgmental, that were pretentious, that were, you know, just so judgmental. And I remember I've been again vegetarian for 11 years. I love it. I'm committed. I'm devoted. I love my diet. I love everything about it. But I think there's so many people that are so quick to blame, to judge, to basically lose their grip on integrity and their ethical core values just because they, you know, I don't know, they try to like judge or separate themselves from the fundamental human beings. Amazing. We're connected by non-duality. It's the duality that keeps us apart. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Non-duality. Yeah. But that's the thing, brother. I mean, is I get what you're saying, and I agree. But it's interesting the nature of, as we are, you know, we are human beings. We are human beings, right? We are human beings. We're also astral beings. But human beings, we are dualistic in a fundamental level. We are polarized. We're living in 3D, right? We see things in this like split, this polar split. Not that things are actually that way on a deeper level, but that is the core lesson that we are here to learn and integrate in this human experience. Yeah. 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 Yeah, the yin and the yang. But of course, there's so much more. There's so much more than just to sort of split it into that, I would say. But yeah. Brother, Instagram disabled my meme page today. 2 weeks ago, my joint broke with me. I'm sad. Zero motivation. Huh. Wow. Well, without throwing salt, I'm not sure if an Instagram meme page is the way, but mm, mm. Are we here to transcend it? We are, yeah, or we are here to transcend it. That's the thing it is that way, brother. It's like I see this far too often that people think, you know, they think the goal of transcendence is to just transcend the human experience, to exit the human experience, to step outside of it, right? I don't think that fundamentally is it. It's to learn to embrace and honor the human experience, right? You know, it's like, as Mateus de Stefano speaks of, it's like, you cannot enter the higher dimensions, the 3, 4, 5, 6D beyond, right? The astral dimensions, the beyond, right? Without embracing and honoring the human experience. Like, it's such a fundamental thing. But so many people, I think they almost like bypass that. They think the goal is to transcend into the other, is to, you know, engage in the astral dimension and leave behind this human experience, so to speak. But that's not the way. That's not the core reason of why and how you awaken. You have to honor this human experience, everything of what this means to be a human. This profound imperfection, the nature of the imperfection that is, the polarity, the polarized nature of this, everything you can imagine, all this human experience, you need to embrace it. You need to realize this is a part of who we are, and it's a hard pill to swallow, but that's the reality. Is you'll never ascend to the higher dimension if you are trying to fundamentally deny the human nature, because the spiritual domain, the way of spiritually awakening, literally is just integrating this human experience, right? You have to embrace this. You got to be like, okay, the dark, the light, the duality, the turmoil, the love, the ecstasy, all of it is beautiful. All of it is what we're here to experience and integrate. And then you may find yourself, beyond that. But again, it's a weird thing, because again, I'm not trying to, this is a thing I've seen with my own eyes, where it's like, as a dude, that I love being a human, right? I love the human experience, I love deeper dimensions and lens and, philosophical contexts, and I love all of these things, a divine context, but also I deeply love this. I love everything that makes me human. I love, the nature of just like my primal core, my primal essence, the thing that is like, here we are. What a blessed honor to experience all of this, right? Even when it's difficult, especially when it's difficult. So I guess that's intuitively, for some reason, me responding to the homie as sarcastic-Trahan. I mean, I think there's a lot going on there, bruv, but yeah, dog, you gotta embrace it all. Like, if Sarcastratron here is there, I'll be honest, that's a red flag in my mind. Like, everything you said, Sarcastratron Han, take this with a neutral grain of salt. Everything you said is a red flag. Like, your old life is literally leaving you, it's shedding from you, because you're not aligned with that. That's the universe blessing you. Like, is that your freaking, that's what you wanna, that's like your legacy, to create a meme Instagram channel where you make money? I mean, maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe you just like making people laugh and you enjoy that. But on the deepest level, brother, like, this relation that left you or you left her or whatever, that was clearly not aligned with you. Accept it, brother. Embrace it. Like, these things, you can let these things break you down, or you can deal with these things like a man. Like, you can be like, all right, well, it's time to deal with these things. It's time to align with the higher path, Take life into your hands, brother. You're not a victim. Yeah. This hat is a red flag. It's a red hat. You got that right, bro. Yeah, but if the homie's still there, I hope he's, with all that with a grain of salt, I hope he's taking time to reflect. Hope he's taking time to, to nourish himself, go to the gym, eat some healthy food, love yourself, brother. Like, this is a moment of self-love without a shadow of a doubt. You've been humbled. You've been humbled by the universe. Like, what a blessing. You've lost this business or this Instagram that you found had some sort of value, this relationship that had some sort of, you've been humbled. What a blessing. Now is the time to reflect. Now is the time to be humble. Be with this realm of humbling. See what this is teaching. What an extraordinary, exquisite, powerful lesson. Like, this is an important thing to understand, is like, when you are humbled, like, we're talking, in the simplest right of like, humbled by the universe, humbled by, just everything. It's like, that is a extraordinary place to be. Like, I really feel this. There's no greater place and no greater stance to hold than to be humbled. It's not easy. It feels difficult. When you're in that moment where you're like, wow, I've really been tested. The universe has really, like, tested me with these trials. But you're being granted the most powerful lesson that will forge your character, and that's being humbled. So embrace that, I would say. Yeah. That was to the other homie, but yeah. Can I order one of those hats from that girl? Sure, bro. I'll send you. I'll post on my YouTube channel. I'll post her Etsy. She's an Etsy seller. I'm sure she'd be happy. Yeah. Ideal is he's crossing wires here. Homie's trying to figure some things out. It's okay. We're all love. We're not here to. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Welcome to this channel. I love how it just fades out. Nice. Almost at. Wow, we're nearing 1200. That's a cool place to be. All right. I've heard of Shaneen Blake. Can't say I have, my dog. Shaneen. Okay. I think it's high time. We're probably gonna put a. Oh, her Shaneen Blake. Yeah, she's she seems like a gem, I must say. She's the chick that pops on my Instagram or pops on my Facebook, singing about spiritual concepts. She's like a spiritual rapper. I'll be honest, she seems like a gorgeous human being. Musically, I don't know. Musically, I can't say she's not my cup of tea. But hey, man, she's doing her thing. I think, strangely enough, she seems like I think someone I would definitely be. I don't know. I don't know. I can't say. If I were to bump into her at a music festival, I probably would connect with her deeply. But yeah, I don't know. You gotta respect. I gotta say, I respect people like her, putting herself out there, you know, making her music, expressing her truth, even if it's not, you know, the most advanced sort of realm of that. Blessed. So great. Oh, damn. Let's keep that. Yeah, let's do that. Very cool. All right, so I think we're approaching, wow, yeah, 2 hour 20 mark. I think at 2:20, we will put a close to the stream, yeah. It's high time. I think I'll just go do some qigong in the forest or something. Why am I happy? I don't know. I just get those surges of happiness sometimes, brother. I always wanted to get a sitar. I think you should do that. Yeah, no, that burst of laughter was, I don't know, it was almost like, that was like a comical, almost like a comical glimmer of the things I've been grateful for, but also me just kind of laughing at existence. Yeah. I think that's a good stance sometimes. Like, just be like, wow, like, this is bizarre, all of this. I think even further too, I'll be perfectly honest. Like, I'm just bursting out in laughter because I'm pretty sleep deprived, right? I was up till like 3 a.m. or something. You know, had my partner over. I was like taking time, kind of got a decent sleep, but not. I'm probably missing like a few hours of sleep, but I'm still here, right? I'm still here. I'm still improvising. Here I am, just playing some guitar riffs. You know, feeling present. Like, that's like, it's kind of baffling to me. I'm just kind of like, bro. Still here, still rocking out. I have to say, I mean, that's kind of, this is a deeper metaphor if we're so inclined to talk about it, where it's like, thank you, brother. Yeah, this is my hat I got designed for me. I'll post the creator's Etsy in my YouTube. I'll post on like I'll make a YouTube post. Because the other homie was asking about too, because yeah, I love, honestly, the creator, she's such a gem. She's such a gem. High quality hats, you'll see. Like, she's incredible. Incredible hat maker. Just a random, yeah, woman from Pakistan that's just like super dope. She's very sweet. Makes the coolest fucking hats. Yeah. I have to say though, having this hat, I've only had it for like 2 days, but deadass, it's like life changing. Like it's a strange kind of thing. Like, I mean, I'm a kind of guy, I've been thinking about this hat for months, like designing it, right? But the idea is like, I think it's just something about like, connecting with the culture of like old school, old school hats. Like, it's like the 1800s mixed with like the 80s kind of rock star energy. It's like, man, we bring in hats back, baby. It's like literally just rocking this the last 2 days. It just feels so good. It's kind of like it like almost like boosts my creativity strangely. Like immediately. It's like when I just like freaking just want to rock out, it's like this hat is just like pop it on. I'm like, yeah, like I get a surge of just creativity. Not saying that's always the case, but yeah, that's great. I've honestly never seen a hat like this. Like the way it's like, it's a regular top hat, right? It's one of these babies. But I just personally, the way I just rock hats and like the way I feel like it's supposed to be on a slant, like a Mad Hatter hat, and then it like, this is like balanced. It's like balanced the way it's on a side, like kind of like that. It's great. It's honestly, it's high tier. It's high tier. And then it's even, you can't even see really, but it's dark acid wash. Dark red. It's like dark garnet auburn. It really makes out in like the light, but yeah. Hard time with the hat. It repels. You seem obsessed with it. Yeah. I mean, that's all your projection, Benet. That's okay, brother. I mean, I'll say to Benet, the normality, brother, the normality for most people is actually just to not be able to express themselves, right? I mean, for me, it's like, I'll be honest, as a kid for many, many years, I 1000% suppressed my ability to express myself. Be it my style, I didn't want to dress, like a punk rocker. And I'm a 31-year-old man, I've been a musician for 16 years. Like, I'm a devoted musician. This is like my life. So for me, I can embody this. For me, purchasing this hat, designing this hat, going through the process of ordering this, rocking this is a part of my energy. Like this, I can rock this, I can embody this. Not everyone can. So when you see maybe that and you think that that's like doesn't resonate, that's just a reflection of maybe where you find yourself at, and that's okay, brother. Like, it's that's kind of the point. Like, the whole point of buying even this kind of hat is it's accentuating where I feel like where I'm at energetically, where I'm at expressive wise. And yeah, it's meant to be bold. It's meant to be different. Like, honestly, I felt the same way to a different regard, but like I felt the very same way when I first rocked these coats. Like 10 years ago, brother, when I first was like younger and I bought another one that's like a dark acid wash, right? It's like this kind of coat. This one's the newer one. But when I first wore these coats, it felt weird. I was like, whoa, like I'm wearing these coats and it feels like, maybe I'm trying to draw attention to myself, or maybe I'm trying to be like a punk rock, this, that, the other. Nowadays, this is just a part of my personality, bro. Like I wear these coats everywhere. It doesn't matter where I go. And, I get a billion compliments because I love this coat. But the idea is that you have to almost like grow into the ability to embody your creative expression. Like, I wouldn't dress the way I dressed if I was like, I don't know, a freaking lawyer or a stockbroker or something. Like, I'm a devoted performance artist. I have been for most of my life. Like, that's why I feel like I dress this way. This is why my brain says, I'm not going to buy a baseball cap and wear some freaking Adidas, right? I used to wear stuff like that when I was like 14 years old. I'm a devoted performance artist. I'm dressing this way because this is literally the way I live my life. And, that's, for me, this feels comfortable. But, again, it's not to like flex or whatever, stroke my ego, but it's just like, this is an embodiment of my energy. Like, for me, this is natural. This is the same way some lawyer is going to walk down the street and wear a suit. For me, I don't even think twice about this. This is my natural essence. But yeah, if that makes sense, it makes sense, bro. Yeah. Rare for me to have such a strong reaction. Yeah, yeah. That's cool, bro. Lean into that. Like that's the essence of it, dog. Is like, I'll be honest, like again, I'm a dude that for most of my life, like up until age 20, I'm 31, for up to age 20, I really had a hard time expressing myself. Like wearing stuff where I was just like, I don't give a fuck. And as a full grown adult, like I love everything of, how my character has evolved. And this hat is like a perfect example of that. Now, obviously, I wouldn't wear this every single time, everywhere I go, but majority of the time, I'm just gonna embrace it, bro. Like, I'm gonna act like this is just a part of my soul. And yeah, I don't know. If that makes sense, yeah, yeah. I think it works too, honestly, bro. It's like, yeah. Oof. Yeah. It's all about intention. Like, it's all about intention. Like, you could see a guy, like, walk down the street wearing a hat similar, and maybe he just, I don't know, maybe he just doesn't embrace it. He doesn't feel connected of some sort. And it's like, it's all about intention. Like, the clothing you choose to wear is literally an extension of your energy. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just something I've learned a million times. Yeah, I'm looking forward to get many more hats though. Anyways, I think what we're gonna do is I gotta say though, I'm looking forward to getting another bandana. It's like a dark red one that I'm gonna design that fits this hat perfectly. But legitimately, yeah, definitely. I'm talking like I'm gonna get more hats like down the road, brother, in the future. And this is the thing. This is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Is like you'll probably see. I ordered an Ibanez guitar. This guitar will be here in about 5 days, right? And you'll see the Ibanez guitar fits this hat. This hat I bought actually way before the guitar, but the Ibanez guitar perfectly complements this hat beautifully. Like it is a beautiful guitar. It's a rich red Eclipse Burst Ibanez, and it has like hues of this, but also hues of like a richer blood red, and it's gangster as fuck. I'm happy. I'm happy as fuck for this guitar. I cannot wait to have it. But yeah. Ibanez, yeah, I've never owned an Ibanez guitar, but I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Like I've deeply connected and loved Ibanez guitars for many years, many days. Beautiful. All right, well I think we're coming up to the 2.5 hour mark. Gonna probably get close to this stream. I'd love to go and hang out in the forest, get some daylight, probably take a nap, go do some strength training at the gym. I don't know why. I've been like obsessed with the gym lately. Probably because I didn't train for like a week because I was sick, and then now I'm like telling myself like I just want to go to the gym every day lately. But yeah, dead ass. Shrooms. W to shrooms, bro. Yeah. I don't want to lose monetization, but these babies, blue meanies. Now those are not bad, but these though, where are they? African Trieskies. I got a bunch of African Trieskies here that are very good. Yeah. There we go. That's how I can do that. Thank you, brother. Thank you, dog. Can do that. Do some of those little gentleman bow. Oh, man. I like hat nuances, though. They're fun. Well, anyways, thank you so much for chiming in. We'll do the formalities. Please don't invade Europe. Whoa. I don't know what to say to that. I'm Canadian, brother. I don't think we're ever going to invade anywhere ever. We just don't have it in us. But yeah, deadass. Thank you so much for chiming in. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, and if this content resonates with you, feel free to follow this channel. Yeah. I create meditative sound journeys. I do improvised guitar. I teach improv, harmonics, all that such sort of fun stuff. And I'm actually in the midst of creating a lot of very interesting long format YouTube content. I have some crazy ideas. Nothing to throw out there, just getting experimental. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. But anyway, thank you so much for chiming in. Deeply appreciate you guys. You know, and hope you enjoy your day. And remember to honor yourself and honor each other. Thank you. Much love. Bless.